Hey guys, yeah, just an update. I've done so much with my app. There's still a lot to do, but I'll just show you part of a cool feature of it. It's not for everyone, so I'm building this app just for me to start off with, and I'm going to be using it. It's an app that I use to create other apps with, so it's like Visual Studio or Blend. I'll use it to create my own Windows apps. When I say Windows apps, I mean Windows Phone 8 apps, Metro apps, or web apps. As in a web page hosted on a web server. So this part, what I'm going to show you here is what it's just one small feature, which is something similar to a solution, where a solution has projects. So in my case, when you start off, when you start creating apps within my tooling, you create a solution, but that solution is a 3D world. And bear with me, there's a reason for that. So in here you have, I'm going to be using my finger, so you're not going to see like a mouse cursor moving around. So that you have this menu which you can slide all over the place, and it's actually more smoother than this, but I'm screen recording at the same time. So you go in, there's three types of projects that you can create out of the gate. So there's a Metro app, a web app, and a WinPhone app. So and again, this is the concept is a solution here. So I want to add a Metro app to my solution, and it's as I mentioned earlier, it's a 3D world that you're laying out your project in, and there's a reason for that. So here is a Metro app in my 3D world. It's just a tile. I'll just position it, and I'll rotate it a bit. What I'll do now as well is I'll add another another project to my solution, and it's going to be a web app. And this is all about just making it fun, creating my apps, when I'm creating my apps. So I'm going to add a web app to it as well. So the web app, so I'm going to create a Metro app, which is going to be my app. I'm going to create a web app, which is going to be like a web page that advertises my app, right? So that's the idea behind the this solution containing these projects. So this web app is just going to be a web page hosted somewhere that's going to be advertising my apps. So I'll choose that web app, and I'll position it. I'll move it. I'm translating it on the left circle, and I'm going to rotate it using the right circle. I'll scale it. And I'll translate it in the Y. Rotate it. So the idea is it's trying to make managing my apps fun, but it serves a purpose. So I'll add another project to my solution, which is a WinPhone 8 app, and that I'll select it, resize it, and I'll position it. And if I select this world, which you can see here, I see that world. That means you can actually just rotate the entire world, and I'm actually scaling the entire world, which is not good. I'll rotate the entire world. You can actually see everything. So by default, it gets the default textures. Now you can actually customize the advertising or the things around your tile, each of those tiles. At the moment, you can only customize the image. Ideally, you would place application specific images on your tile, so you can, like if you're creating a game, you would paste a picture of that game on that tile. So I'll change. This is just a I'm just showing you exactly an example of how you would customize one of those tiles. So you go in, you choose the graphic you want to display on the tile. You'll be able to put text on there, and as well as some animations if you want. And so I'll also customize the web one. I'll customize the WinPhone 8 one. So yeah, there's this concept of a 3D world, and you lay out your projects in that 3D world, and you can. The goal is to actually create this really immersive advertising for your apps. And what happens here is that this world that you're building will generate to WebGL, it will generate to Canvas, it will generate to a DirectX surface in a XAML app. And for any of these, for whatever it generates to, it will be used as advertising for your apps. But bear in mind that this is still a solution, and these are how you actually manage your projects within that solution. So then you would go in and you would say, for my Metro app, you would go in and you start managing that app. So here you go into the scenes, and so you manage for my Metro app, which is the Windows 8 app. I'm going to say I want my Metro app to start off with a splash page, and then I want it to go from the splash page to an information page like an About Us, and then I want that after the user's gone through the information page, like a disclaimer page, that would come to the very first screen, which in my case is going to be a concoction of XAML, DirectX and HTML. So that's, say for my Metro app, it's going to look like this for the user. So they'll go in, they'll see a splash page, and then you can go in and you can edit that actual page. So you go in and you click on edit, which I've already built but I haven't wired up yet. So you go in and you'll customize like an image on that splash page and some assets to load. Then you go in and you can customize the information page, and you go in and you can customize the XAML page. So like I was saying, it's just a very, very visual, quick way to design your apps. And it's like Blend, but it treats HTML, XAML, DirectX as first-class citizens within the design development process.